As is Elena. All right. Well, we're on. So, who wants to do a recap? What happened last time we played against last week? Don't all go at once.
Session 132 was titled "The Blue Claw." Mr. Saros and his army arrived. He pledges his allegiance to our army. He revealed that the 5th Legion was traveling to Ormont from Carental, that's a spelling mistake, and we might get pincered in between the two armies that are after us. And we were like, okay, and then we just kept traveling, and we scouted a little bit, and then we encountered some carts with some soldiers from Clan Luminar in it, and then we kind of both just went our own way. And then we started planning some stuff, and I did some stuff so that we would program an illusion, so when the army came to follow us, they would see us, and we would tell them that we were going to somewhere and that they should come and follow us that way, but we're not actually going that way, we're going somewhere else. And then we started scanning more of the army to teleport them, and one of the dudes resisted the spell, the truth spell. His name is Torvax. He was the sole survivor of the scouting mission and the Green Dragon encounter. He feels betrayed by Narinn and Zorgar because he was left to rot in a cell for 2 months, and probably has a lot of psychological scars. And he has basically been selling us out to the enemy. He's been telling them things, and there was a big kickoff. There was a lot of people yelling at each other, and then we called a council meeting to discuss what happens next.
Yeah, that's basically the size of things. Yeah, so if Zargar was here, I would have done a chunk with him, but, I was going to say that Zorgar's been away and he would be coming back to see this, so I think, given he's still not here, but would probably have something to say about this, maybe what we'll say is that, like, maybe Zorgar and some of the other troops got, like, sent ahead, like, on, like, a scouting mission or something. Like Zorgar's not here right now for some reason or other. And maybe we'll check in with Zorgar next week on his opinion on stuff. If that sounds good to you guys, it feels like maybe the fairest way of doing stuff.
Jake, your mic is doing that thing again.
My mic's doing that thing again. Thrilling.
Yeah.
So, where did we get to? You guys were
Council
meeting. Yeah. So we were gonna say, I don't know. We'll figure something out with Finn next week. As to where Zorgar's been. He's maybe been off doing something different. Like, we'll figure something out. Like he's maybe scouting somewhere with something, or that maybe there's some reason why he's not here right now. And I guess this is kind of more of a Narinn problem to solve largely. So you were calling the council.
Yes.
And remind me who's on the council?
That's what I was kind of asking you, but I know Sora, Feral, Balax. I assume new guys on it as well now.
Okay.
Basically, just all the heads of all the different leads.
Okay, so like Balax for the 8th Legion, Sora because she's ex-queen.
Yes.
Saros because he's in charge of his lot.
Yeah.
Are you having Zorgar's buddy Samorn, the guy in charge of the 6th Legion? Is he along?
So it'd be slightly biased if he wasn't, but sure, yeah, he's there.
And Ormond, the guy in charge of the Black Barbs, is he along?
Yeah.
And then the 14th Legion don't really have a leader. there's the lady that first kind of spoke to Zorgar and Meriden, Safara. She's kind of the closest thing they have to a leader. Is she on the council?
I'm just gonna have, as the army gets bigger, I'm just gonna have sub armies fall under like Balax or the new guy.
Sure. Okay.
So something.
Sure thing. All right. So, yeah. Okay. So you call this council meeting, and you had one of your Elite Four tie the guy up, right?
Yep.
Okay. So he's tied up. He's like tied up against the tree. For the moment, while you sort this one out. Is it just Narinn that goes to talk to the council, or do anyone else come? Like, is anyone else invited on the council, or is it just Narinn?
Narinn isn't.
Linda's nosy, so she's coming.
Narinn isn't like summoning any other party, but he's also not like pushing them away. So it's just kind of whoever rolls up.
Sure.
And let it go if
So
we will
it's
go.
a very open house kind of council meeting.
For some reason, Foundry isn't letting me edit my text, my secret text.
Right, hang on a minute.
You're having all the issues today.
So it's a mess. It's a mess. Okay, right. Is everyone fine? I'm fine. Is everyone else fine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Lyda's going along, and Muir, you said Muir's going along as well. What about Hrafn and Murak? Are they invited?
Well, once again, Narinn's not inviting or uninviting anyone. It's just whoever comes along comes along.
Yeah, come along. Just
Okay.
on the side.
Best not to split the
You
party.
know.
And what about Zarzan? Is Zarzan allowed on? Because he's under Orman, but he does hang out with you. Like, so he's kind of an edge case. He's kind of a soldier with
Once again,
benefits.
like-
Zarzan.
Narinn isn't putting out an invite. If Zarzan rocks up, though, Narinn's not gonna tell him to leave.
Can Rurak go and just hang out with Wings? Is Wings here, or are they on holiday?
I think he had gone to go and
He went to the shore,
went
didn't he?
to the coast, didn't he?
Okay then, cool. No, Rurak will hang out.
Okay. Sure. So you guys. So Narinn calls the council meeting. Does Narinn expect other people to go along, or is he kind of like surprised when everyone else runs up as well?
He's not surprised that Lyda's there at all.
Okay.
Maybe surprised if Hrafn or Zarzan or Rurak were to show up. Also not surprised by Muir.
Okay.
And not surprised that Zorgar is not in attendance.
Sure.
Well, he's
Um,
off. He's scouting.
Yeah, he's away. We'll say he's scouting for now, unless Finn has a better idea of something Zorgar might be doing, or unless like Narinn comes up with some reason Zorgar might be away. We'll say he's scouting, and you'll maybe come back next week and have some useful information for you, depending on where things are. So yeah, you call this meeting, and everyone kind of fronts up. You can see that there are differing reactions with everyone in attendance. Balax, he looks fuming. He's so mad. He's raging. He's absolutely beeling.
This is one of his boys, isn't he? He's from the
Yeah,
region.
yeah. He's like he's.
Yeah.
It's kind of you're not like when you see him, you're not entirely sure if he's like just mad at the situation, or he's mad at the guy, or he's mad at you. Like like it feels like it's kind of like he just looks like he's an absolute fucking turbo grump. By everything going on.
Turbo Grump.
Yeah, turbo grump.
Wait, what was the name of that guy?
Balax.
Felix
Come on now.
angry.
He's been with us for ages.
No, I just didn't remember who we were talking about.
Saros is there. He's kind of like he looks looks a bit kind of shell shocked, really. Like he's only been here like 18 hours or something. Already he's been put on this council. He's been invited along to talk about stuff and there's spies, and he's like, whoa. Everyone else is a bit kind of more like sort of kind of they look like a mixture of being worried and kind of just like surprised by the whole situation. And you guys hadn't walked anywhere today, had you? You hadn't set off, right?
Not quite.
So you
I
got
thought
like
this was in the evening, right?
Oh.
After.
or maybe so like either you pitch camp and either you pitch camp for the evening or you pitch camp the night before and haven't decamped yet. So there's like a tent set up, like a command tent, and everyone kind of gathers around. Balex has his arms crossed. He's fuming, and they'll kind of everyone troops in, and then they'll kind of look to Narinn for opening proceedings.
Before we get down to what's to happen to this soldier, does anyone have anything they want to get off their chest?
They'll kind of look at each other and they're like, no, not really. I mean, no. Do you have any of your elite dudes here? Like Samur and Sargon's away, but do you have like anyone else there, or did you just bring Balex along from that legion?
Just Balax.
Just Balex, okay. Yeah, no one says they have anything to get off their chest. Balex is just like silently fuming in the corner. So yeah, there's kind of this general murmur that feel right, you know. It's a bit, you know, it's kind of wordless murmuring. Then it quiets down. They kind of like look at you again.
Okay. So we need to come to two decisions. We need to decide what is to happen to this person, and also if they actually know where we've been setting up camp, and if so, how. Because then we need to move the troops again and need to stop moving the current troops. Does anyone have anything to input on either of the matters?
Balex is like, I don't see how you could know where we were going. He kind of looks around and he says, most people here don't even know. I don't even know, and I'm one of the people that know.
Is this lad in attendance just now?
The spy guy.
No, he's tied up.
But not here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm wondering if it's possible if we could get him back on side, he could be feeding false information, which should do us good.
He seems very. We would have to work a lot with him to get
He
him
seems
back on our side.
unstable.
He seems incredibly pissed off.
Yeah, he's already
And
condemned
mad, yeah.
most of his fellow troops to death because of his hatred for Narinn, so I don't see him helping.
No.
Can Miracle quickly check him for magic items while he's tied up? This is happening.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you kind of. So it's been a couple minutes. You head over there. He's like he looks like he's looking like straight ahead, like into the distance, like into like the middle distance, and you can hear he's murmuring something under his breath, and then he kind of like it looks like he's having a conversation with someone, but there's no one there to talk to. But he's conscious. You can go over and like check him over. So you're just like doing a pat down?
Yep. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to be understanding if I'm gonna have to check your pockets here.
Sure. So how are you conducting this? Are you just like flat like are you behaving in any way differently than normal when you do it? Like are you
No,
like
you
being
know,
wary
just
of
kinda-
everything?
No, I'm just staying away from the breath end of whatever color he is, and other than that, friendly pat down, as friendly a pat down as one can do.
Sure, yeah. It isn't like he's tied up against a tree. Like there's only so much you can do. You kind of start to make kind of as you were kind of like patting down the leg area, you feel this globule of something hit into your hair.
You've been spat on.
Yeah.
Just gonna ignore him.
Sure, that's kind of the extent of it. He doesn't really do anything else, but you don't find any magic items on him.
Okay. Anything else incriminating or interesting in his pockets?
No, not really. He's got a couple of coins on him. That's about it.
Yeah, okay. Just get up, give him a pat on the shoulder, and then go and tell everybody he's not got any magic items on him.
Sure. And what's the chat been inside the tent while this is going on?
What are we gonna do with him? It's the main thing, because I really don't think we're gonna be able to get him back on our side.
Yeah, no, probably not.
Personal plan is to just leave him tied up and move on.
To die or to get found?
Whatever happens, happens. If he gets found, he gets freed. If he doesn't, he dies.
Yeah, but I
Baylax.
feel like you
Sorry,
may as well. Sorry. I feel like he may as well just choose to either let him loose or kill him.
When Rurak says that, Baylax nods. He says, "Death is the only appropriate punishment."
I would disagree with that.
I wouldn't
I
expect
feel
any
like that
more
might
from
have-
the priest of pettiness.
Stop
so
it with
as
your
regards to-
preconceptions, goddammit. Leave it alone.
I mean, it is kind of evil, but it's fine.
He says, "We
No,
cannot,
it's
we cannot abide traitors, nor can we release them into Keldrath's hands or risk them knowing even more about our operations."
Point.
What he knows is probably already leaked. Plus,
And
what
what if
would
he's
it
lying?
do for morale if we were to...
To let a traitor go free?
What if we fed the traitor false information? So you wouldn't know he was giving false information.
That would have worked if we hadn't said that in front of him. Maybe.
He's not-
That's what I was asking. Was he?
Is he not here?
Is
He's
he
not
not
here.
here?
No.
My mistake. Sorry. I thought
Also,
it would
like,
be-
anything we say to him, he's probably going to not be as trusting as anyone anyway, because we've already...
Especially
Yeah,
if we
we'd have to
tell
make it
him
look good.
directly.
We'd have to
Yeah.
punish him or whatever, and say, try and be sort of rehabilitative, but punishing at the same time, and then
Feeding false information could be helpful, but we just need a use for it.
Even if
Maybe
he
we
buys
should-
it, I doubt any of the spies he would tell would buy it
yeah.
after he got found out.
Feeding him false
Maybe we
information would
should
require
tackle
feeding the
that.
company false information. We've had no information to him
That's
directly.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Also, maybe we should tackle the second issue first, is how we determine how he figured out, if he figured out where we're going, because then we can figure out maybe how much he told Kildreth.
Well, he
Never mind.
couldn't have figured out where we're going.
Let's just ask the gods. I'll go ask,
There
I'll
was
go ask
someone-
Alpheus.
This is Matt out of character asking, wasn't there someone who fucking was it Zone of Truth? And he was, I don't know, it was something that he was really confident. He thought he knew where we were going.
Yeah, I think
It
that
was
was
the tech thought.
yeah.
So he definitely thinks he knows. For sure.
Yeah, like
So,
he is
whether he actually
confident that he
knows.
knows.
Yeah, but then
He's-
there's like he knew where we were going, as in we're going to trees so that we can teleport, or he knows where we're going as we're going to this specific canyon. It's like
I think he wouldn't have been as confident if he thought, oh yeah, they're just walking into trees, we got them.
yeah, it's true.
Well, no, because that is a fairly important part of our plan, is that we're teleporting.
Yes, that's an important detail.
However, like, I really don't think he will know where we're teleporting to, because
But the
half of us don't.
The point is if he didn't know, he wouldn't have been that confident with his answer.
Alright, who is everybody who knows where the valley is? That's Raffin, Zars, and Wings? I don't know if he talked to... Did
Yeah.
Wings tell him by accident? I don't know.
Possible.
Absolute
call Wings?
blabbermouth.
How much does Wings talk to the army?
Not that much.
Also,
call
Wings is
Wings?
on holiday.
He's on a break. He's got a day off, but I can still call him and ask.
Feels like an
but
emergency.
who else? Because it's probably not Wings, okay?
Just put it out there.
Like, who else actually knows?
Tarzan, Raffin,
Well,
Narinn? Wings.
Narinn knows that it's a valley. Narinn doesn't know where the valley is.
Surely we've pointed it on a map.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, if it's been pointed to on a map, then everyone knows where it is, including Balax and all of that.
Like, I don't know why we wouldn't have pointed it to a map on to you, you know?
Okay, sure.
But-
Yeah, like,
so
do you know
Narinn
where it
knows
is?
where it is.
Yeah.
I don't believe I've been briefed on that.
Okay.
I understand the
Okay, that's
characteristics of
good.
the place, but
Dumb
It is a
question,
small
are there a
place,
lot
maybe the
of
characteristics
valleys
are
on...
enough.
Yeah.
I can cast Commune and ask Altius 3 questions.
Okay. Another thing. If they knew where we were actually going, surely that second army wouldn't be coming down through the valley. They'd be going to where we're trying to go.
What if there's a third army?
Or
Yeah.
fourth.
Also, it's not an. It's an army. It's a legion.
Well,
Armies
it's
are made up
still
of multiple
a
legions.
crew of people coming to kill us.
Yeah. I don't know, and it
But
would make sense that it hasn't been attacked yet because they're waiting for more people to get through.
But they could just wait on the other side and murder people.
Yeah. So they could
So-
already be watching the place.
So that's why I don't think he actually knows where we're going, because we haven't told anyone. And there's already an army coming down this way. It doesn't make sense.
I think we should at least try to investigate it, though. To rule it out, I just feel is quite dangerous.
There might also be another spy. Might
Yeah.
not just be him.
Great.
Also, it's probably worth asking Altius. Asking a god, worth a go. If you can do it.
They've got their uses, eh? I can ask him 3 questions, yes or no's. So I can ask, what's the name of this guy? Of the
Torvax, I
Corvax.
believe.
I can ask, does Corvax know...
T.
Sorry?
Torvax.
Corvax.
Torvax?
Yes.
T?
Yes.
Okay.
T.
Corvax is someone else.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up. I can ask, does Torvax know the location of the... What's the name? What's the name of the
The
camp?
new hideout?
Is that going to hold up to scrutiny in the questions?
I mean, it is our new hideout.
Okay. I'll say the army's new hideout. Yeah.
If you want to be very specific, you can be like, does he know where the current troops that have been sent through the trees are?
Yeah, but they're just then he'll know that they're at the hideout or whatever. It needs to be like, does he know the location of the hideout? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he know the location of the soldiers who have been put through the trees?
Okay. Yeah. And then I'll ask the same question for your brother, who's called Nargar. What? Z.
Balasar.
Valasar. Valasar. I'll ask if Valasar knows these things. Okay, I need to write these names down because I will forget them.
Is it possible?
You
But
need
why?
to write Balasar down.
Yeah, I do.
He's the big bad
Playing
guy.
for like 3.
Valasar. Torvax? Torvax?
With an X at
Torvax.
the end is what I have written
Torvax.
down, but that might be wrong because I kind of just I wrote what I heard. I didn't actually
He's a
clarify for
Dragonborn.
spelling.
It's probably an X.
Yeah.
Is it possible that when he said he knew where we were going, he knew the plan to go and get Valasar during the festival? Is that what you meant?
I
Maybe?
mean, I feel like we hardly know that plan. Never mind him.
Um,
Wait, what was the exact wording when we asked him that?
Asked him what?
Asked him if he knew where we were going.
I don't think we've
I remember.
asked yet. But
can't remember.
No, isn't that the one you said where he said he knew where we were going? No, not
the
to
one
Altius,
you
to
were
the
just
dude,
asking to the.
Torvax.
Oh,
What was the exact wording?
I don't know.
Come on, Matt.
Remember. Use your memory.
Remember?
I think that was the exact wording that he thought. Like it was like, "Do you know where we're going?" And he said yes. I'm pretty sure that was the extent of it. You could go ask him again. There's nothing stopping us asking him more.
Nah.
It just occurred to me maybe you could interpret that as being like, oh yeah, you're going to hell, and you could be pretty convictious
Hell.
about that.
You're going to be killed by Valasar.
Okay, do we have the questions?
I have a third question. I need to figure out what that's going to be. Is an army going to march on the new camp location?
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
I have a slightly selfish one.
All right. You can have a selfish one.
Can you help?
I want to know if anyone is hunting the ship.
Is anyone hunting the dubious walrus?
Oh, they absolutely are.
Here's the
Oh
thing,
well,
that
actually
comes
no. If
back
it's
to
that
no,
vague, it's absolutely
that
yes.
Yeah.
that could be-
If it's that vague,
Yeah.
Many.
is I guess is
Is the dubious walrus
scale
danger?
being pursued? It's.
Is Scale being pursued?
I thought
I meant
that
to
we
say
found
scale pursuing the
thing
dubious
saying they
walrus.
But the thing is if
Well-
you get a no from that, it could be past tense. Maybe they have already pursued the walrus.
I mean, I talked to Pharaoh like 5 minutes ago.
He
Okay,
was also
so
drunk
After
5 minutes
5
ago.
is the dubious walrus still or currently being pursued?
I don't think that's a good question to ask because
By
we know they are
scale,
because we
I
got the
feel
spy
like you
document
need to
saying they are.
specify.
Yeah.
Okay. So then,
I don't think
how about
it
something
didn't
like
say.
is there an army marching on the new hideout location?
Yeah, I think that's more important.
I also feel like there's slightly the wording there. Marching it misses out if they're already there or if they haven't set off yet.
Traveling toward.
Yeah,
I
but what if
hate
they're
all
already
this
there?
wordy business.
This is why we never used the fucking wish ring.
So we
Your
gotta
first-
word it exacly, guys.
I guess we'll just
Okay.
never use it.
So what
Take the
if
first
we ask for
question,
gold?
just-
Well, what if the gold comes from an orphanage? Like, what the
But what if it does? What then?
What if
fuck?
all the poor children they had no money now they have even less money? Right. I don't believe I have commune currently prepared. Jake, may I?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, it's fine.
Cool, thank you. It's a ritual spell, I believe.
Oh, if it's a ritual play, you can just do it.
Oh, you don't even need it. Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to prepare it. You can just do it. It takes 10 minutes rather than 1 minute, but you got time.
I
Do
require
it in 10
minutes.
minutes.
Sense and a vial of holy water.
Um,
I'll-
It's all right.
for-
Thelnir will because they don't have a cost with them. You can just kind of wave them away because you got other cleric shit.
That's true, but I'm doing this for flavor, if that's
All
all
right.
right.
Cool.
Raffin,
Hello.
you tend to have herbs and flowers and stuff. Do you have any incense that I could use for my spell?
Insects. I've got a lovely worm.
No, not
That's not
not
what-
insects. No. Smelly incense, you know?
I'm sure I've got some somewhere.
Yeah, like some
I would
sort
have incense shake, wouldn't I?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
For my rituals and
Yeah.
it might be sort of odoriferous woody incense, you know,
yeah.
musky overtones.
I'll take some of that off Raffin, I guess.
Okay.
Make a little I don't know, a circle in the ground, make a little pile, and give it a little zap with the hammer.
Sure.
Yeah. And then breathe in some smoke or something.
Yeah, you kind of you. So yeah, you guys, what are you doing? This inside the tent or outside the tent?
Probably outside, actually.
Right, okay, so you got So Mirek, and Raffin exchange incense. Mirek, stumps his way outside, and you hear kind of just like general noises of like kind of like classic like dad noises of just doing stuff like okay, circle like that, okay. And then there's like this kind of like cracking zap sound, and then and Rick, you feel a connection. You feel your third eye open towards the heavens. You feel a connection with Papa Storms open up, as if he's listening for questions with which to answer.
Okay. I'll ask. Does Torvax know the location where the soldiers have been teleported to?
No.
There we go. We done
Does
it.
Balasar know the location of where the soldiers have been teleported to?
No.
Is there an army traveling towards the new camp location?
Yes.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Right. Thank you.
Oh wait, is it our army?
It's our army.
I'll say that.
The
They-
voice of fucking
Yeah.
it's just going no, no,
No.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I do feel like the last question was slightly redundant with the first two.
It
That's
was,
true.
but it was a backup. Just we had everyone to start. We could have just next time we'll spend on anything. Ask any random old question. But I'll come back in the tent and look really depressed and as if I've just heard the worst news in the world. And be like, good news. We're all good. There's, no one knows where we are. Oh, they know where we are right now.
I
but
slap
they
him
don't
at the
know
back of the head.
I deserve that. Yeah.
Well, they don't know where we're going. But
Torvax doesn't know where the camp location is. Neither does Balasar. And apparently there is an army traveling towards the camp location. But I've shortly realized that that's our army. So we're fine.
we're good. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
Doesn't change what has been done.
It doesn't. It also doesn't reveal how much has been revealed altogether, but I guess it doesn't matter.
Maybe
Well,
we should
okay,
have more time for
uh,
questions next time.
So we
Alex
know
has chipped in his 2 cents. Does anyone else on the council wish to suggest a fate?
I mean, it's that sort of thing. Like you know how difficult it is to get like a group of people beyond like 3 people to express any kind of individual opinion, and it's like that.
These
But
are
also
all
there's-
leaders.
yeah, but also there's like some dude's life's on the line and stuff. They're like no one is really like that. Like they all kind of like look at each other and like there's kind of some murmuring. No one really kind of offers anything much. Let me see who's here. Yeah, there's murmurs for a bit.
how does Naren's mum look about the whole situation?
She definitely looks like she has an opinion. Does not look like she's likely to share it.
Yeah, go on, Sora.
At all?
Right.
I want to know what she was. Want
Well,
to
Yeah,
just
know?
for the
look
talking
directly
pillar.
at be like,
Hang on, there are a bunch of
just
people
wanna
talking at
look
once.
direct-
Go
I
on.
just want to look directly at her and ask for her opinion on the matter.
You hardly need a washed-up queen's view on the situation.
You're a member of this council. It's part of your job to advise.
Yes, but Scale's in this mess because I already tried to mold one son into something he wasn't. I won't make that mistake again. I'm sure whatever you choose will be right.
He's pretty stubborn. I don't think he'll move to just whatever you say. I think he just wants to know.
I think you have a choice here about what kind of leader you're going to be. So I think you should
It's one of these speeches.
think hard about that and choose accordingly.
Narinn, whatever you choose, I think that keeping him here should be the last option. The longer he's here, the longer he's spying on us, leaking information.
There's no option where he remains in the force.
All right.
You see Zorgar's buddy kind of look a bit like, oh man, not gonna be my suggestion.
Personally, I think that we should just let him go. I know he's a traitor and everything, and you probably want to set an example, but the man's gone through a lot of shit. Dragons aren't fun. I don't think being in a cage for 2 months next to a dragon does very good things for you. And also, like, I understand thinking Narinn's an asshole. He kind of is. So, you know, he went a bit far, but I don't think he needs to die because of it.
I feel
It was a bad thing to do, but also he just, I don't know. It's a fucked up situation to be in.
like most people think Narinn has already made up his mind to kill this person, but Narinn has been in a near identical situation before in this campaign and let the guy live.
When was that? I don't
It
remember.
was just after we got the ship back, I believe, and he was talked out of it by Timmy, and the rest of the crew kind of was upset with him for letting the mutineer go. Or the mutineers. It was multiple, wasn't it? It was the ones who followed the dude.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. And Narinn let them all go. But I don't
Well,
know.
I do think he needs a talking to before just letting him go. I think a discussion
A
needs to
stern
be
talking
had.
to.
I think perhaps just like an apology for leaving him there for a while. It's probably not going to do much. He does seem pretty pissed off, but you know, I don't really know what else we can do for the dude.
I think you should give him a little bit of money, dump him on the mainland, and let him be on his way.
Definitely not giving him money.
I have a feeling
shit,
he
look-
will
Not
absolutely
paying this dude.
If
He
you
will-
let him go
Yeah, also
here,
chuck it aside.
if you let him go here, the assassin clan's gonna kill him probably, or pretend you killed him, or they'll do something nasty to him. I bet. So I think you should at least, if you're gonna let him go on the mainland where they're not gonna
He
find
made his own bed. It's
Is
him.
Zarzan's direct
You have to
manager here?
Sorry, what? Tarzan?
Yes.
Is Zarzan's
Yes, he
direct
is.
manager here? Or
Yeah,
is
he's
he
here,
not
yeah.
high enough?
Nah, he's here.
What's
Zarzan's
his...
manager.
Oh,
Are you asking him?
yeah, assuming he hasn't...
Yeah, he's not offered any opinion yet. Are you asking him while everyone's talking, or are you asking him like during a lull?
It would probably be like a kind of side nudge in like, hey, what are you thinking?
He kind of like, he's like, he kind of whispers, or sort of like, kind of sort of under his breath. He's like, they can't kill that guy, but they can't keep him either. What do you think? Kind of as this discussion is ongoing, Balance is like, we have to remember the fate of the other soldiers in this. You've already made it clear that they can be on their way if they do not approve of your leadership. Turning a traitor like this loose with little more than a slap on the wrist is only going to drive more from our ranks. Punishment has to be swift, and it has to be decisive.
I feel like
Usually
killing him is
still
a worse
feel-
example
Mm-hmm.
for army, because it's like, oh, you step out of line
No.
at all, like you're under my thumb, you're gonna get squished.
I would agree. And also, it doesn't really matter what happens. Someone's going to pretend it was worse. Like, you could just, try and make it as nice and peaceful as possible. Someone on like the other army are going to go, look, they're all brutal murderers who just chop up their own soldiers, or our soldiers might get the wrong idea. It's too risky to kill them. Just,
There is.
It's also, I feel, just as bad an idea to give him money and let him go.
Oh, no, I
There's
meant
no
like,
good outcome.
enough to get him somewhere, to a village or
No.
something like that. For,
Yeah, just to
for a
like
night or
live.
two. Yeah,
you
just
know?
till he gets back on his feet. I wasn't talking thousands of pounds.
Kind of have to think about the outcome, though. At the end of this, Narinn will be known as either Narinn the Merciful or Narinn the Powerful.
Well, it's not
Okay,
powerful
the
to
ego
fucking
does.
Why
chop
not
off the
both?
head of a man that's tied up when you have an
Oh, maybe
army.
not
That's not
powerful.
powerful. That's just being a dick.
That is
I
power.
want to say, though, that is what a lot of armies would do, is they'd execute someone for betraying them.
Yeah, there's a lot of
That
armies
is
would do
what
that,
would
but
happen
is
in
your
an
army
army.
It's
gonna do
the
that?
right thing to do.
That's the decision we're currently at. I don't know
Yeah,
yet.
well, that's what I was
Um,
saying. Just because
the
every
only
other
option-
army would do that doesn't mean it's the right choice.
The only option I've 100% ruled out is I'm not giving this guy money and setting him free. If he's going free, he's making his own path. He's made his own bed with these choices.
Give him money and kill him.
That's the best buffer. Then you take the money
What's
back.
the point?
And kill him. Then he's not part of your army.
Oh, okay.
Balak's kind of like, while there's a sort of a discussion ongoing, Balak's kind of like sort of like takes Narinn aside. He says, "We have to deal with this quickly before your brother comes back because it's going to complicate matters. You know what the right thing to do
Yeah,
here
I
is."
already know what his opinion will be.
Justice?
Ooh.
You may think my brother's mind would be so easy to read, but his sense of justice is not so straightforward. Plus, at the end of the day, this soldier falls under my ranks. It's my decision at the end of the day, not Zorgar's.
All right. Kind of comes back to the group. He's still raging. You just get the impression that he's just kind of raging at anything and everything in general, like right now. Like he's in a thoroughly bad mood.
Balax has been
Again,
the only
I'd like to
person-
point out that Balax, the priest of spitefulness or was a vengeance,
And
none of
wrath.
the good words is up for
Stop
killing
judging
him.
people's
so-
religions. Balax has been a good friend thus far.
Oh, well, that's-
You mean what? A good friend and just supplying armies, different things.
Someone in supply armies?
I got distracted there. I forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but I can't remember what I was gonna say. My vote is to not kill him. First of all. First and foremost, kill or not kill. Those are the two options, isn't it?
Mm.
So,
No, there's.
shall we have a vote?
What does Nautilus think?
No, we all know what Nautilus thinks.
Well, I'm glad you asked. I haven't decided yet. I'm considering the situation.
Greg, you've just
But
made
you
life
can't
way
keep him.
harder.
Obviously. Why don't you do the pirate thing and make him whack the plank?
We're not
Hey,
near the
servant!
water. We're not near the water.
We're near the
Milton.
coast.
There is a third option of banishment.
As I
We
said,
don't-
dump them on the mainland.
I could just take them
Mainland
to the
or-
capital.
Yeah. There's also other possibilities you could go with. Other
Well,
Not
than
Right.
dumping them in space.
My
Yeah.
current option I am considering is a punishment and then allowing him to walk, cutting out his tongue for
You're not doing that.
spreading the lies.
You're not.
It
doing
gets a
that.
mixed reaction from the council. Balax is like, man, that's not good enough.
Yeah, I know. There's got to be no pleasing everybody.
Sora kind of like raises an eyebrow when you say cut out his tongue, but then kind of goes back to being fairly impassive. Armin looks kind of shocked. He's like, kind of looks at Zarjan kind of instinctively. Who else is here? Zaros is just kind of goes like, okay.
Punishment would fit the crime.
Slightly,
That's what I was
Maybe
thinking.
not.
Mhm.
slightly left of field suggestion. It's a fairly small army. The soldiers are the ones affected the most. You could let them vote. Then that'd be the less risk of them getting pissed off. Just
That's
say,
a pretty democratic option.
Mm.
oh yeah, you're all
Yeah.
about trying to redo the system and all that. Might be.
See if you actually feel like that, Narinn.
But then you're going to have two sides. You'll have this side and that side.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you'll
see Zargar's
close the
buddy,
divide.
like Zargar's buddy is like kind of like nods at that suggestion. Balax is like shaking his head. He kind of looks at Nair and he's like,
Again, Balex doesn't agree.
Fucking, ugh.
The other ones are kind of like they're like seems as good as anything, you know.
The main thing is you want your soldiers to be happy.
Yeah, but
So,
that
'cause,
won't leave them happy. That will leave a divide.
It would leave a divide, but it'd be not a divide that they would blame on you, which is the important thing.
Is it? There's still a divide, which
Yeah.
means there'll be a split.
Well, the
It's hard to tell how big the divide will be and everything, like I don't
Like,
know.
there'd
We
be
wouldn't know until we
divide.
asked.
There'd be a divide no matter what you choose anyway, because people would either agree or disagree with it.
True.
But that way you'd have less people who are less angry at you personally, and they're kind of marching for you. So if they hate you, then they're probably going to leave. But if you give them at least the option, they're not going to be mad at you. They might be mad at each other for a bit.
But also, but it means that they'll know that when situations like this arise again, that they have a say in the outcome.
Whatever way you do it anonymously, I think, so that they don't know amongst themselves who voted for what, because that way you'll split the group into those that voted to let him free and those that voted to kill him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can
Don't-
organize it all and everything.
Yeah, it needs to be in. Yeah, that'd be good.
I do want
Get a
the
little paper
third
ballot
option
going.
to be in there. The middle ground of a punishment and being set free. I want the three
You can have
options.
as many as you want.
Cool. We'll get. Yeah.
3 is simple. If everybody on the
I
council
think we
agrees,
got- Sorry, you go ahead.
I'm just asking if everyone on the council agrees, we'll just proceed with this, because I think Balax is right. We have to deal with it quickly.
Balax says we don't have time for a vote. We're caught between two armies, Commander.
We're out for camp. We got the whole night.
It'll take longer than that.
Oh, well, I'm a key organizer. Do you see me lining
is.
everyone up?
Brutal
very good.
I
efficiency.
can get this done tonight. We'll start the count.
Just
We'll
having
get
the
it sorted
whole
by
army
morning.
vote.
I mean, if you're not satisfied with that, Balax, we could say
The soldiers at the new site won't get a vote.
There's not
I-
that many of them.
I don't know a great deal about armies, but I don't think much as I'm all for democracy, I don't know that this is a voting sort of a thing. Because what happens the next time you have a difficult decision to make?
I mean, yeah, that's it. The precedent will be set.
Yeah, I think you
I
have
thought we
to,
wanted
like,
democracy. I thought that was the whole point of this.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is in an army, like we're an army at war just now. I don't,
There's
you know,
the
it
reason
wouldn't
there's a chain
happen
of
in,
command
like,
in an
yeah,
army.
and that has to for difficult things that may happen later on. That has to be the case.
It also
And you
means
know
that
me,
the
I'm
decision
normally a
lies
big hippie. I'm normally kind of going, yeah, let's be nice, but I think in this case, whoever's in command of the army should be making that decision. Maybe with the
My
advice of his generals or whatever, or the council or whatever. But I don't think an army vote's a good idea.
my logic being with this particular case, it's the soldiers who got dicked over the most, really, and that was the biggest point of Gur, rather than taking out
Oh, no, I
Narinn
mean,
to
from
get on the whole army.
From a point of view of fairness, I think you're absolutely right. That's I would agree, but I just think in the case of an army at war, it would be weird for a decision not to come from on high.
Yeah,
Why
I
don't we
kind
just
of
do a
agree
vote?
with that point of view.
Why don't we just do a vote with the people here?
I was trying to kick that off earlier, but no one else voted.
It's either Narinn decides, or if Narinn can't decide, we would vote on it and everyone would decide.
I would say Narinn decides because he's in command of the army, and he might want advice from us. So we can offer him advice, but it would be his decision.
I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable killing this man.
I'm with you on that. I agree with that.
I think it's going to backfire really badly if you kill him.
I
People
think
are just going to start
also-
really weird rumors about it as well. That's it. It doesn't matter what you do. Someone's going to
So
say
I'm
what's a lot
wondering-
worse.
I'm wondering if there's an opportunity first, not with the spying anymore, but like if we're a liberating army that's about, if we're trying to bring democracy and bring a better way of life to scale, maybe a more compassionate verdict, like the exiling
Yeah.
on the mainland sort of thing, might be the way forward.
Yeah, no matter what decision we come to, whether it's killing, setting them free, it will bite us in the ass again. Because you set him free, he's hateful, he wants revenge, he will come back, he's not going to walk away. You kill him, you might lose a lot of the troops.
set him free, you might lose a lot of the troops.
Set him free without any punishment, yeah.
Maybe do the voting thing with the soldiers, but if you don't, like, just to see what the feeling is, basically.
Yeah, but then if you don't go with what they voted for, then what's the point?
Yeah,
But they
Yeah.
don't know it's
And
anonymous.
if you do go with
Could
what they
we-
voted for, what happens the next time something happens that has
It's-
a bunch of the army disgruntled?
Is Zartan here?
Yeah.
I assume so.
Cause you're like closer to like a fellow soldier to those guys than anyone else at the council, right? Could you go and like listen to what people are chatting about right now and see what people's like opinions are? You don't have
Yeah,
to talk
because-
to them, just like listen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I mean, that does kind
Just
of
to
fall
see what the
under...
general vibe is, rather than actually outright asking everyone what their opinion is.
How do
I
you
could
do
do
People are
that
like,
too,
"Oh, I
as
can't
a-
believe this guy, traitor, whatever, vile."
Only issues with that is, one, I think Balax is right, one, a bit of a time crunch, and two, everybody now associates Zazen with the party because he's been working closely with the party for the past couple of weeks.
It would definitely
So-
be a "How do you do, fellow kids" moment.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. It's just kind of impossible to say what the opinion of the army is.
No, and there's no good outcome, so I might as well just decide on one. Out of when Narinn suggested the whole cutting out the tongue thing, ignoring the party or the rest, the actual council, was there?
Sorry, go ahead.
What I was just like getting readings. I know, like Sora raised an eyebrow, but do Dragonborns have eyebrows? I don't know.
Yeah,
She
well, you got
raised
like a-
something.
Like one of her plates went. She did the whatever the Dragonborn equivalent is. Like you obviously know, being one.
Samon was clearly strongly against it. Balax was strongly against it for differing reasons.
Everyone else
No
was
one
fairly
was
in the middle.
happy.
A lot of them looked like they were kind of disgusted by the idea of that, but no one was like other than Samorn and Balax, you didn't get the impression anyone was like anyone else was like that's not enough or that's too much. They're all kind of like ugh, tongue, ugh, kind of as like a gut reaction. So it was overall fairly mixed.
Is there any precedent in like Dragonborn armies for how they would handle something like this?
Balax says it depends on the commander. That's usually what it falls to. Otherwise, Keldrath would decide normally. And he looks at her and he says, and they would choose death.
Eldrath. Are those the people who are hunting us right now?
They're the dudes who are in charge of the military, yeah.
The ones that are completely and totally 100% bound to your evil brother. They killed your dad and
Locked your mom away in a tower.
may not have the highest set of morals in the world.
Guy is obviously distressed. He did start crying. And, he obviously has PTSD up the wazoo as well,
Did he start
If he was
crying?
just straight up evil,
Well, he's clearly not
think
straight
of being
up
tortured
evil.
in a cage for months on end might have him. I feel like he's got to have a lot of people in the army who's at least a little bit sympathetic to the guy.
Sure, he's not evil. Narinn doesn't think that, but still, you can't just let him go off scot-free for endangering the lives of almost 200 people.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
no
not-
one
Punish him and let him
actually.
go.
Well, first of all, the reason we have screenings like this is so we can catch this before anything bad happens, and nothing bad has happened.
That we know of.
What do you mean? Nothing bad so far has happened. Our location has been revealed. They already knew where we were, kind of, to begin with. We were already sorting that shit out. And we know now that they definitely don't know where we're going. So all we can do is keep trying to weed people out who may have a huge vendetta against you because you've done fucked up shit. Like, that's all we can keep doing, and I don't think we need to kill a man for trying to get back at you. Yes, it was a very wildly irresponsible thing to do for the lives of all of this army, but we're on top of it. We've got it. He hasn't actually killed anyone. But he did have to stay for 2 months in a cage with a dragon, thinking that people were coming back for him, except they weren't. So he lost all hope, and then we came back for him, and then we were more enthused by the gold than him.
See, that's
Yeah.
what I think that's a good point, and I think that if, that's what I mean by an opportunity. I think potentially if you were to decide to be merciful, but do it publicly and do it in such a way that you would win hearts and minds rather than, I think pulling out the tongue and doing it that way might create a bit of respect, but it's respect born of fear, and I don't know how useful will that be going forward after the war.
Also, well, last point. Muir doesn't think it's Narinn and Zorgar's fault personally. I think it's just very unlucky. But a lot of people probably do think it's Narinn and Zorgar's fault, which is an important point. So there's probably another reason you should be at least a little bit nicer to the guy.
I'm going to be honest. I am strongly torn here because Matthew will pick one option, but he also knows Narinn will pick another option.
What's the reasons for the options, though?
I think letting the guy go explaining to everyone that he's suffered a lot and that this is the kind of change that they're going for is kind of my thought. But I know Narinn isn't looking to rule. He's not looking for people to worship him. He wants to teach a lesson, but he doesn't think death is the right answer. He doesn't think that this guy deserves to die for what he did because he understands the horrors he must have gone through, but he's also not the type of guy to just let it slide.
Gek wanders in. The flap opens and Gek kind of like wanders in. He wanders around to Narinn. He starts like tugging on Narren's trouser or whatever.
He'll know what to do.
Narinn,
Yes, Gek?
Narinn, thing happening outside.
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh shit! I'm going outside. What's
Run
going on?
outside.
He kind of like leads you by the hand. He like scampers. You can see there's like where Torvax is tied up. There's a bit of a ruckus going on. There's one soldier in like 8th Legion garb who is like trying to like he's being like held back by like 2 other dudes, and they're trying to like drag him away. And he's like kind of clawing at Torvax. He's like yelling stuff in Draconic, mostly just kind of wordless curses and stuff like that. He's got a knife in one hand. They seem to have the situation in hand. Like the other soldiers, there's one from the 6th Legion, and there's one for the 8th Legion as well, and they're just kind of like hauling this dude back.
I guess.
But you can see there's a bit of a crowd gathering, and there's kind of like discussion forming around it.
Narinn is gonna stroll on up there.
Sure, like when you kind of walk up, like the dude with the knife is like kind of starts calming down and kind of gets released and stuff, and they're like, "Commander."
What's going on here?
They look at the guy with the knife. The other 8th Legionary, the one that was kind of holding them back, is like just Dran here had a shall we say lapse in judgment, sir. So it's all resolved now.
Does Torvax look at all panicked by this guy trying to come out?
He just looks like he's in a daze. Like he's kind of like lolled forward, kind of unconscious. You think he may have another wound now, like on the other side of his face from the one you punched him.
I'm gonna ask the guy who was holding him back, the 8th Legion guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask, and you don't want to go for him with a knife?
Not unless I've been ordered to, sir. You hear like murmuring in the crowd behind you. They're all like, "What's going on? Whoa, holy crap! Did you see that he had a knife? What do you think? Is that his knife? No, man, I think that's a thing. Like I've seen that knife before. I think it belongs to this other guy. You know, and he's in like 4th Regiment. Yeah. Oh, wait, okay. What do you think the commander's gonna do? I don't know. The more stable legionary is like I'll escort Dran back to his tent, sir, shall I? I think he's tired and in need of rest.
If you would.
He's like, and I like takes him like fairly roughly, and they're like, "Come on, you," and they start walking away. The 6th Legionary is kind of there. He's like not really sure what to do. Like that's not really my CO, but it's kind of my CO. He kind of just sort of stands there like at attention.
How much of the crowd is like split amongst the legions versus just being 8th Legion?
It's fairly split. It's majority 8th Legion because like I mean the majority of your forces are 8th Legion really.
Yeah, because there's 2 legions that are 8th, right?
Yeah,
Archers
like
and foot.
you had like 3 units of 8th Legion, and like there's like 2 units of 6th Legion and 1 of the 14th. So like that's Zorgar's chunk. So like Zorgar, like you have roughly the same amount of people, but they're just kind of spread over between you and Zorgar, but they're kind of spread over more organizations. So like 8th Legion races are still like the biggest one, and you notice like a couple of like some of like the Black Barbs and stuff like that. Like they also wear kind of like some people have kind of taken the 8th Legion as like the kind of name for your whole ass army. So some of them will wear like pins of like 8th Legion stuff as well, even though they're still like Black Barbs. So they're kind of transitory outfits. So it can be difficult to tell sometimes. But mostly it's fairly mixed. So there is a majority of 8th Legion dudes here.
While I remember, can I also go check his things? Not on him, but in general.
Oh sure, I'll go back to his tent. I don't know if it kind of, are you just
Sorry?
going to check his tent mirror?
Oh yes, yeah.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So you head off to do that. What is happening? Where are you? What are you doing, Narinn? Well, Muir slopes off.
Well, God damn it. um, I guess
Whoa.
Narinn's just going with the middle ground here. And he's just... Is the majority of the army here?
There's at least like half of it is here. Yeah. Maybe not half of it, like a third. Like there's a goodly chunk. Like like of the soldiers that are off duty right now, most of them are here. Yeah. Like some of them are still obviously on watch. There's a certain proportion will be on watch, and some of them will be like asleep right now. But of the ones that are awake and not doing anything, most of them are here.
At this point, Narinn doesn't even have a knife. Narinn's whole thing is stabbing things. You can't stab a tongue off.
Not with that attitude.
Does Balax have a knife?
Yeah, he's got a knife. Yeah.
I asked to borrow Balax's knife.
Yeah, he kind of
No,
shades it and
no.
hands it to you.
Narinn.
This is the middle ground. It's the best
It's not
conclusion
the
I can
middle
come to.
ground. You're kind of gonna cut out his tongue. We know people that got their tongues cut out. It's not a nice thing.
No, but they're still alive, aren't they?
They can't talk.
Exactly. A spy can't talk,
can't eat
which means he
lollipops.
can't do
They
us
can't-
any more damage.
Can write.
Yeah. There's
Well,
quite a lot of
actually,
other ways to.
can he write? Like,
He could
how
definitely-
well educated is the
You
scale?
have
of
no
army?
idea.
I have no idea how well educated my troops are.
Oh, they're on average fairly well. Most of them can read and write. Yeah. Most people can.
No, yeah. Narinn's just going to kind of explain to the troops who are there that he doesn't believe that he deserves to die for his crimes. He's suffered a lot.
There's a murmur starts spreading.
He had full belief we were coming back for him. But at the same time, there can't be no punishment for this crime. Narinn has got to proceed to cut out his tongue.
Okay, we're not going to go into the details on that. We'll just say it happens.
Yeah.
the dude is like passed out while you do that. He's not passed out afterwards. Like wakes up and he kind of like you kind of. Could you give us a deck save actually?
No, oh, is he got to try and breathe on me? Oh, fuck up.
I could tidy up the cut you make if you want, Narinn.
If you could, that would be good. Just so he doesn't die from it.
Yeah.
I'm heading off. Fuck this.
So as you
Yeah, I
are
don't want to see this.
kind of as you are on the follow through of the action,
I use a lucky.
I'm sure, yeah.
Slightly better.
Okay, so as you're on the follow through of the action, he kind of comes back into consciousness, and his immediate reaction is to bite down really hard on your hand. Like you get it back and everything, but you're like, you get like a real nasty sting. Your hand is like covered in blood and stuff. So you take like, I don't know, you take like 2 damage or whatever. As this, and then he's like, you hear him like screaming and stuff, and we'll probably just kind of brush past most of the aftermath of that. It gets a very mixed reaction. Eventually, he kind of like passes out again.
Gonna have Burak patch him up, and then leave orders with. I'll leave orders with Sam on that when he comes through, you have to cut him free, give him what do you call those things that hold water again?
Water skin?
Yeah, a water skin and a little bit of food and send him on his way.
Sure. He's like, all right, sir.
And then I'm going to explain to the army again that if you want to leave, there's no issue with that. No harm will come to you, but you cannot betray all of the other troops here and expect nothing of it.
Sure, okay. Can you give me a performance check?
You can have +6.
Thank you.
All right, how are you helping
Only
here?
one.
Because aren't you checking out this dude's tent?
Oh, yeah, so I am. Never mind.
I forget the rules on lucky. Does lucky mean I have to take the second roll?
No, I think you take the higher of the two.
Okay, then I guess I'm lucky just to be safe. $15 isn't the worst. That's one better.
I mean,
I'll take 16, I guess.
okay, so kind of no matter how you deal with this one, you're gonna lose some soldiers. But you give a pretty rousing speech, and there is some kind of like the initial reactions to what you do. They're kind of like they get kind of tempered by the end of it, and you feel reasonably confident that you will have swayed some people to kind of continue being here, but you'll also probably have swayed some people who are kind of like on the fence will have gone, you know what, not really for me actually, having thought about it. So you're going to lose some number of soldiers. I'm not sure how many. It'll probably take until you've moved everyone through to really get a grip on it, because people will kind of like filter off as you're walking probably. Some people will be like, today they'll be like, you know what, it's all right, I'll stick around, and then like 2 days from now they're like, you know what, nah, you know what, I'm off, I'm away. So you're going to lose some number of soldiers, but you deliver a pretty good speech, and people will kind of generally sort of disperse, going like you get the impression they're kind of like taken aback, but they're not like overall consensus like that's a reasonable enough punishment. No one seems like tremendously hacked off. There are some people who are like, nah, it needed to be more than that. There was some people like that was too much. And those are probably the kind of people that will disappear. But
I was hoping that most of the people who are like, oh, that's too much, are in Finn's legions anyway.
yeah, probably, yeah, that's fairly good assumption. So yeah,
Could I have lost troops for Finn in this?
Probably not.
Okay.
Like if you guys maintain a fairly good delineation of like these are Zorgar's troops and these are Naryn's troops, then probably like some of Zorgar's troops will be kind of like they'll probably suffer from like lower morale for a bit, and they'll be like, "Whoa, don't know, are we quite sure about what we're getting involved here?" And then they'll be like, "Oh, well, I mean, Zorgar didn't do that. It's all right, Like so, Zorgar's legion will be probably unaffected, but some of yours might be." Yeah. So Mira, you're going to check out the dude's tent, right?
Mhm.
Sure. Can you give us an investigation check?
Okay, hold on. Also, slight question. I'm upside down on my screen.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
Okay,
you're-
I
you're
was wondering.
sideways on
I've
that
been
one.
trying to fix it without giving everyone motion sickness, but I'll fix that in a minute. Okay, so investigation. Hold on, I've never rolled on D&D Beyond before. Let me find it. Emma, how'd you do it?
I just did it. There was like a dice symbol on it, and I just hit the dice symbol. You couldn't do it with the add-ons, as far as I
Oh.
knew.
Could someone else just roll for me and add 11?
Sure.
I'm probably upside down again.
13.
Dream chat says click the boxes.
Uh-huh. Thanks, Stream Chat. That's cool. That works quite nicely. So 13. Okay, so so you don't know where the dude's tent is, but you're able to get directions. You're like, hey, I'm looking for thingy's tent. And you're like, oh yeah, it's that one. And you head in there. You can see
Can I
your
give
stuff.
myself +6? Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, okay.
That thing's great.
Oh, now you're turbo upside down.
Yeah.
I don't know how to fix it.
Sure. So you head into, you get directions to Torvax's tent. You head in there. You can see the whole thing is it's a bit of a mess. You can definitely tell that the dude wasn't like you don't see that many of the soldiers' tents, but certainly you imagine them to be like fairly kept, fairly well ordered. Beds made, things like that, like kind of standard sort of soldier stuff. This dude's a bit more kind of erratic. You can see with 13 plus a 6, so 19. There's a missive in progress that it looks like the dude's been writing. I will get it to you for next week. It's basically just kind of keeping. It's a couple of days out of date. Kind of just generally keeping whoever. It doesn't have a recipient addressed on it, but you can kind of tell contextually from reading it that it's addressed to whoever this dude was funneling information to, and it's basically like we're moving through the trees. We're being transported somewhere else. It's all kept very hush hush. I suspect it's in the central mountain range. And then probably some other stuff in there, because it's all written in Draconic, and you're kind of having to work through with your Duolingo and stuff like that, trying to figure it out. So I'll get you the full thing for next week. But it basically has some information that he's not quite managed to get to whoever he was informing, and I'll give it to you all next week. Let me write that down.
Okay.
Where's my book?
Something about pencil case or
He has a jotter and a rubber. He lives
he
in
has
Valor.
one poster on the wall.
He likes running and jumping.
His dog Jerry.
Sure. So yeah, Muir, you probably kind of come back in the aftermath of all this. So what are you guys doing kind of after Torvax has passed out, after Naryn's, dealt with him? Rurik, you said you were administering something to him. Is that right?
I was just cleaning up the
Sure,
slice.
okay. Yeah, you don't have to. You can probably just do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Muir, you kind of arrive back as the last soldiers are dispersing. Naryn's kind of at the tail end of his speech, and you can see that something has definitely happened with this Torvax dude. You think he's passed out? He might be dead. It's difficult to say. But yeah, something has definitely happened while you've been gone.
Is Rurik there?
Yeah, Rurik is probably doing stuff with the dude's mouth.
Oh, what happened here?
Remember when Narinn was talking about cutting the guy's tongue out? Like, if you want to have a look.
I don't.
Okay, that's fine.
remember it, I think the first time we met you guys, you were mid cutting that someone's tongue, and
was it the first time? Was that?
it was the day after, I think.
Oh, yeah, common themes and
Yeah. And Circle of Life.
yeah.
How would everyone take it?
Just trying to think of that scene in the Disney movie.
Where they cut out someone's tongue?
It's the Circle of Life.
The Circle of Life.
I don't remember that.
Everyone was quite
There'd be
shocked.
letters.
Understandably so. But I think give it a day before you see the effects of this.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing? What were you up to?
Oh, I found his journal, I think. I don't really understand much of it. It's written angrily, handwriting wise. Done with passion, done with a bit of anger.
Yeah.
Man needs to clean his room. And other than that, I can't read it. So I guess I'll give it to Narinn or Zurgar.
Yeah, fair enough.
Probably not Balex.
Probably not Balex.
Between you and me, I don't particularly trust Balex.
Oh, okay. Liking or not liking, I understand. Trust. What's set you up about trust?
Again, I've mentioned a few times. He's a priest of spitefulness, so
I can see that.
Don't tell him I said that, though. Again, priest of spitefulness probably wouldn't appreciate it. But,
yeah, no, maybe not. Yeah, just stay clear of him, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
I would be interested to know where he was leaving these, but
leaving what? Sorry.
Well, how he's getting this to a spy, or
yeah, I'd be very interested to know how he actually got messages out, because nothing that I've certainly seen.
Yeah, I would suggest asking him until he got his tongue cut out. That might have stopped that plan, but
it's not exactly going to tell us now. So
no,
in fact, I don't think he wants anything to do with us. So
yeah, probably regretting joining the army.
Probably.
Bit. Okay, well, I'm gonna go give this to somebody. See you later. Have
Okay.
fun with it.
See you later.
I chuck Narinn the thing I found. I can't read it.
Yes, Narinn just kind of takes the book, scrolls off, finds a drink, and starts reading.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll get that to you next week. If you have any pertinent questions about what's in it, you can ask them. I can probably give you an answer. It's just the specific text of what's in there. I'll get that to you next week. But otherwise, yeah, you're able to go in. No one is gonna no one is gonna bother. Bela sees you coming, and it's you can see there's just like a split second decision moment where she's like, am I gonna get snippy with this dude? But nah, he looks mean today, and they're like, so you're able to get basically whatever you want. No one's gonna get in your way. No one's gonna hassle you or bother you for the rest of the evening, at least. So you're just getting a drink and reading, is that right?
Yep.
Sure. So it's just a letter. It's not like a journal or nothing.
Okay.
But looks like, yeah, as I said to Mira, it looks like pertinent information that he's not quite managed to get to Geldrath yet. You certainly don't find any mention of the specific area or valley you're going to. It does seem to have identified roughly the mountain range you're probably headed to. So they'll have a narrower idea of where he might be, if that information gets back to them, but doesn't look like it's currently with them. So it seems like the soldiers are probably safe for the time being. Yeah. What are the rest of you guys doing? What's the rest of your evening?
Yeah, praying.
I'm going to find some
Find
animals to
Jesus.
study.
Find
Some of the
Jesus.
local wildlife.
Sure. Give us a nature check, Raven.
Hopefully.
$20. Okay. Sure. So you head off into the woodlands. In the environment nearby. You find a cool burrowing lizard, kind of like an armadillo.
Nice.
It's kind of seems like it's very small. Like it's not, but it's another like kind of fairly standard
Like a little
animal you could turn
skink?
into. Yeah, kind of like a little skink. Yeah. Find a couple other birds, or kind of scaly, sort of like dino birds that they have here, and you find anything else? You find a cool horned beetle.
Nice. Haven't found a
it's like
beetle
this
in a
big.
while.
Yeah, it's pretty chunky. Looks like a fun little chap. A big old horn. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Did Gek see the guy get his tongue cut out?
You're not sure.
I don't think he's
Did
going
I
to
go
like
find
that.
him?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. He's just kind of. It's fairly easy to track it down. He makes a lot of ambient noise around him. You track him down. He's kind of just wandering around, looking up at things.
He's still alive, though. We just cut his tongue out.
Yeah.
Still not, he's like, hey. Good. Hey, buddy.
Asking.
I use the small words I know. Hello.
Hi.
Okay? You okay? Nim?
Tired. When we get in place?
New place?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Did you see did you see the guy?
Yeah. I didn't know
Did
that's what this is for.
Okay. Do you want to go find some acorns to roast or something like that? Hang out a bit?
What is an acorn?
Do they have acorns here?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Or whatever you
Probably,
roast on campfire, something fun.
Yeah, like chestnut or something. Yeah.
Yes,
Like
that's
he
what I'm
basically, he's
looking
like,
for,
I don't know what that is, but that sounds fun.
Yeah, let's go do that then.
Okay.
Go hang out with him for a bit.
Sure. Yeah, he kind of warms up a bit. He starts like after a point he just starts kind of wittering about stuff. But obviously it's in Draconic, you don't really understand what but he seems
Smile
quite
or
happy
not?
just talking at you about stuff. Occasionally makes some
Smile or
weird
not?
hand gestures. I think he might be talking about traps. It's difficult to say really. But he seems to you find some cool nuts and to roast and take them back and get roast them and. He seems to like this. You find a couple of different varieties. He's like blah 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 in the first one, but there's something he quite likes, and he at the end of the day kind of like eventually just kind of falls asleep with his head on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Rurak, you said you're praying, is it right?
He's
not here.
He's in the
What are you doing,
then? I think Liv probably went back to her tent. If we have
Sure.
a tent.
Yeah, you probably have tents. Yeah.
She's probably gonna just spend the rest of the evening and the night doing a little bit of pondering, maybe a bit of journaling,
Sure. Yeah.
maybe a little bit of praying, but mainly
Get the
just
puja out.
thinking. Kind of just collecting the vibes on
Sure.
how she feels about this whole
Okay.
situation.
Just kind of a quiet evening of contemplation.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Zarzan, where are you up to?
I'm probably just hanging around, to be honest.
Okay, sure. Are you hanging around like other soldiers, or are you hanging around like Narinn and stuff like that, wherever they are?
Probably with my manager.
Sure,
I
yeah.
don't know his name.
His name's Orman. Yeah, so you're just kind of if you're hanging around with him, like eventually you kind of hang around with your legion. They kind of they've not really probably this may be one of the first opportunities they've kind of had for a while since you've been away to kind of chat to you about it. So they're like so what are you so where did you guys disappear to that time? Like some people said you went to the sun or something.
We went up to that moon.
The new one.
Yeah.
So you made the moon.
Well, it was there when we got.
Okay, now it's here. So what was on the moon? Why was it away?
Honestly, you probably know as much as me, to be honest.
Some wizard shit.
There were some bad people on the moon, and
Right.
we got some of them.
Right. Okay. All right. Yes. There's kind of like there's a chunk of time where it's like fairly normal conversation, and it's almost like small talk, as if they're trying to ignore the elephant in the room, and eventually one of them just like. So what do you think about this spy business? What do you think? Was he right to do that? And so there's like a bit of a. Some people are like I don't know. I mean, it feels a bit harsh. Like, was he not? Poor guy, really. I mean, it wasn't really his fault. Don't blame him. And others are like, I mean, he ratted us out. That's not, he's not supposed to do that. Like, that's. I think that's perfectly reasonable. And the commander did. And they're like, well, some, kind of very mixed opinion. But eventually, they all kind of gravitate towards Arthur. And they're like, so what do you think?
I think something had to be done, and I don't envy having to be Narinn to make those kind of decisions.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. They all kind of nod. Like, yeah. And otherwise you kind of spend the rest of the evening just kind of chatting about normal soldier stuff, and eventually turn in. And then Rurak, where are you up to? You're praying, did you say?
Yeah. Just felt like I haven't had a solid pray in a while.
Sure. Okay.
Probably good to check in after I've had that commune and stuff.
Sure. Okay. Give us a religion check then.
Here's a religion check. Attributes, religion, and normal. So I believe I get +5 to that. So
I think it's already done it.
That's my proficiency. Is that right?
I have no idea.
The Foundry uses intelligence.
Oh, of course it is. Okay, sure, yeah. Okay, 19. Yeah, okay. So you kind of check in with him. He's like, obviously you don't like chat one-to-one really. But you kind of you spend some time in prayer, in contemplation. You're like, he seems like he's still invested in what you're getting up to and stuff. He's like, yeah, cool. A lot of storms happening down there. Nice. Using the sphere, using the crow, awesome, great. Glad you're getting used to them. Eager to find out what's going on with our relics. When you get in it, eager to find out about that. Yeah, it's cool that the temple's getting used. That's nice. Generally kind of like solidly positive vibes off him.
Okay.
He's like,
cool.
Big day today, obviously big day. Handled it pretty well, handled it pretty well. Didn't do anything too weird. So 2 stars, using the stuff, building the temple, 1 wish, Gizmo relics. It's basically the gist of your prayer.
Okay, got it.
Is Altice your manager now?
Apparently, yeah. There's like a review process and everything. That's great.
Yeah. Okay. So presumably, unless anyone wants to do anything else this evening, we'll just kind of skip forward to the next morning. And you guys wake up and kind of are ready to start the day, really. So what's your guys' plan? Are you just continuing on? Torvax will probably have been released at this point and kind of escorted out, and like he's not there when you guys wake up. And Samorn, when Narren's kind of up and about, Samorn will eventually find him and go, "Yeah, we released him last night. We blindfolded him, took him out of the camp, and then kind of set him free as you ordered. So the situation now
Thank you.
should be resolved. Sir, you guys again like that's weird. I didn't like having to do that. Basically, this is fine, but he's like, I did it anyways, so I did it free.
Yeah. I guess I thank him and tell him to start packing up, getting ready to move out.
Alright, kind of heads off. So are you guys just heading into the mountains? Is that your plan?
Yeah, trying to cut through the mountains to get to the forest, yeah.
Sure, okay. So you guys all pack everything up and head on. Zorgar may have arrived back at this point, probably not. Wherever he is, he's still not back yet. So you guys continue southwards, and into the you probably I don't know if I updated the map yesterday, but you'd have gotten fairly close to where the foothills are. So you're pretty much like kind of day one, kind of getting into the mountains. But kind of as you start climbing up, you kind of get a better visibility of things. Can everyone give us a perception check?
Yes.
One for me, please.
I believe I make an advantage because of my shield.
I think it just does it for you.
Oh,
I
natural 20.
listed advantaged. Is that okay?
That's fine. I wasn't sure if you had just rolled it with advantage or if the thing had rolled it with advantage for you. What's
me.
your bonus mirror? I'll roll it for you. Oh, she's freaking out.
Nope, still upside down. You're in white pack a minute.
Rana,
Yeah,
does Raffin have the Ring of Animal Influence?
he does.
Great, because I have it in my inventory, so I'll take it out just now. I must have had it at some point and forgot to take it away.
Yeah, if it's on mine, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Hi.
Surprise! It's me, Charger stealing the key. Okay,
That's
bye.
like breaking
Okay.
the fifth wall.
So that was mirror. Okay, so what was everyone else's perception checks? Did they come in?
I got
I
20.
got 25.
Just didn't update for me.
Oh,
Well,
25?
I rolled a nat 20.
Damn.
so 23
Housekeeping.
for Harafen, 25 for Narinn, 21 for Rurak, 15
We're very perceptive.
for Zarzan, 18 for Muir. Yeah, so Narinn definitely notices this first, right? But kind of as you guys are, hang on, let me move the thing to the map scene. I need to hide Finn because Finn's not here. Then I need to activate this thing, and it will pull everyone, I think. It will pull everyone. Yeah, there we go. yeah, you guys start climbing up into the hills, and then as you are kind of breaking, as you get to a point where you can start to see further. Narinn, you're the first to notice this, probably because you're kind of already aware of, or already being wary of it. But you can see that the army that Raffin had seen is no longer there. That's where they want to move. It's no longer there. It's now like friggin' here. So you kind of get up into the mountains, and then you can see kind of like to the north, just down. You can see there's this mass of soldiers there, and you're not sure if they've seen you, but you've definitely seen them.
Can I get out my spyglass and try
You
and
guys
see
are
if
like-
they've seen us?
Here,
Oh, that's really close.
sorry, or something like that. And you can see there. So you get your spyglass. So yeah, you spyglass in on them. You can see the insignias of the 5th Legion are on them. You can also, with your 25, you can also see that they outnumber you guys like 3-2.
Right.
Have you sent any soldiers over today?
I don't know. That depends on going off the waiting until we see the biggest tree we think we're going to see during the day.
Okay,
So it
'cause I think
depends if we
yesterday
come
you kind
across
of
that
camped
first.
at the biggest tree you thought you were going to see yesterday.
Oh, sure.
I think was how we had done it. So it just depends if we're going to punt people through there, or it would probably be reasonable to assume that you're not going to find very many bigger trees in the mountains, and it's going to take you probably about a day or so to get through the mountains.
Oh, okay,
Maybe
so
longer.
probably would have done it earlier, yeah.
Okay, so let me update the thing. So you've got 130 soldiers. Sure. So you get your spyglass out. You can see there are the 5th Legion. They outnumber you roughly. They've probably got about 200 soldiers or so, if you're kind of guesstimating. You've got about 130 with you just now. You can definitely see that there are some people that are looking in your direction, and kind of there's the occasional person who's pointing. So you're pretty sure that at least some of them have noticed something weird on the mountain. They're not it's maybe not super clear whether there's an army on there or not, but it's like they've definitely spotted a mountainous anomaly. At least some of them.
Okay. Rurak, you said something about a big fog cloud last time.
Jake,
Yeah.
I cast Fog Cloud at 7th level.
Okay, like turbo. Okay, so
I was going to say maybe place it between the two armies, so if you can. Or is it based around you?
That's a good question. Let's check out the spell and find out.
Question: I can't see the map. Are they on a hill? The other guys.
no,
No, we were
they're
on the
on
hill.
the ground. They're on the road. You guys have now come off the road onto the mountainside.
I choose a point within range, and it's on that point,
What's the range?
120 feet. So I can choose a point within 120 feet, and then I will make a cloud that's, oh god. I'll make a big cloud.
Sure.
It's centered on 100. So where do you want it, Narinn? Down the
I
mountain?
want it
120 feet?
high enough that, like, how far up the hill are we currently, Jake? Like, how much more climbing?
Quite a lot more. You're like quarter of the way up there. You're like
And with the
yeah.
angle, if we had placed the clouds on top of us now and kept moving up, they'd see us
Probably,
exiting
yeah.
the clouds at the top.
Oh.
That's
I
a
guess.
slightly a bit of a mean suggestion, but Muir, any of the other spellcasters who can cast Tidal Wave can hop back on wings, wait around for them to get up the hill, tidal wave them down.
Do we need water
They're on a
source?
hill.
Huh? Do we need a water source for that spell, or is it like anywhere?
No.
Okay. Let's see if we can do it anywhere. Hopefully we can. It's magic, so it should be fine. Was it
'Cause
control
even-
water?
Like domino style, that should,
Yeah,
down quite a bit.
that'd be pretty good. Got that spell as well. We could have a few of us doing that.
For now, they're gonna have the cloud placed just ahead of us, I guess.
Sure.
Sorry.
Okay.
20, and then there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, what's 20 times 7? 140. 140 foot radius. Yeah. 240 foot diameter fog sphere is going to be placed, just a bit ahead of us, so that we walk into it.
Okay.
Concerned about that. We're on a mountain. That sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or into something.
Oops.
So you're casting your crazy fog cloud, right? Rick, is that right?
I mean, I'm casting it, and Muir, is that something you say? Or wait? I can maybe wait. Can I wait?
Yeah, you can
Can
kind
you
of.
hold in 7 levels?
I got 7 powerful, magics going on here. Where do we want this fog cloud?
Maybe.
That'll kind of.
All we heard there was maybe.
Not maybe. I don't know what's wrong with it. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Narinn, make the final call. I've got like 5 seconds left on this.
Okay, just use it to stall them. Place it still on the mountain, but maybe more so that we're more through it.
I'm
Hopefully
placing
it'll
it.
slow them down.
I'm placing it centered on me, Jake,
Sure. Okay.
where I'm standing.
Okay. So Rurik starts praying, and there's the heavens. There's these clouds form in the sky, and then there's like this kind of like sort of like tornado effect almost, as it kind of gets like pulled down to around Rurik and like spreads out. This massive. It's like I think 240 feet or whatever, 280 feet or however big it is. That's like roughly 100 meters in diameter, like slightly under, but like we'll say it's about 100 meters. So that's a pretty big cloud. Suddenly
Mhm.
appears, and you guys are in it, but you kind of know where you're going. So are you just kind of keeping pace, or are you like, are you
Hurrying up a little.
sure? And you're just on the same trajectory that you're going to go?
Yep.
Sure. Okay.
Hey, Narinn, does your army have ropes? Can people really quickly tie themselves so that we don't get lost? If you shout out the command right now, we might be able to get through quickly.
Are all the troops equipped with rope?
Probably most of them ropes pretty useful. Kind of makes sense for them to have rope. Probably not
Yes.
probably not everyone, but you probably have an abundance of rope. You have enough.
Sure. Just
Um,
quickly link yourself, get a buddy.
Okay, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be 2 minutes. You guys chat with yourselves and make your plans or whatever.
I can borrow wings.
Wings is on a break. Wings has the day off.
What
He
do you
worked
want to
very
do with
hard for like
wings?
3 days straight. You're on a break.
Wait, can I get
What do you want wings to do?
fly around on wings and wait for them to get up the hill, then tidal wing out again?
Because I could be your wings.
Yeah, Raffin's got wings.
I could be your wings if you want.
I'll lift you up. See, that's getting a bit
And he
Disney. There could be a Disney song for that.
There could be, yeah.
Or Lida or Rurik have useful spells, or
I've also got control water, so it could do the same thing. Like,
A tidal wave, and then could you control water the tidal wave to make it go more? Is that something we can do?
Oh, sorry, you have tidal wave. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. You control any freestanding water inside an area you choose. So I have to have water there first to use control water. So if you tidal waved first, then I could potentially control that water and do stuff. Pretty cool.
Anyways, back now, so shh.
Hello.
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 So what is your plan?
You got biscuits.
I got Jaffa cake, yeah.
There.
I have a tangy orange untrademarked thing.
Other biscuits and cakes are available.
Exactly. Sure. So Rurak, you're kind of casting this fog cloud around yourselves, and then what was your decision vis-a-vis ropes? Are you having them rope up?
Just quickly while on the move, yeah.
Sorry, I thought I was going to be over fast on it. Sure.
Do you think
Okay.
it's very Alexis eating a Jaffa cake? Is well, 1 minute.
Sure. So yeah, you guys. So Rurak starts casting this cloud. Narinn and Balax and all the other kind of the command order of the Legion. They start barking orders. People are they're pretty efficient. They sort of they whip their ropes out. They tie themselves up. It takes you're maybe like a couple minutes where you're just in the cloud, but then everyone seems to be roped on, as best you can tell from like verbal communication, and then you're just kind of pressing upwards. Is that right?
Yep.
Sure.
You're asked Raffin if she can get a lift
Of course.
as a bird.
Yeah.
What's come with?
So Raffin's turned into a bird. Did I miss this one?
Yes.
Okay. A big
I'm
bird.
going to think they were going to use wings, but now we're using me.
Okay. You may have to fill me in on this plan, Shams.
Yeah. Sorry. The plan is fly around on some kind of bird-like creature, and then for the other army to get up the hill, and then tidal wave them back down.
I just realized as well, Mir, that my fog cloud's a concentration, and it lasts an hour. So
Okay.
probably good to use the full hour. For me, we could stay up there and still do the plan, but I would have to wait to do my part in an hour, which also means your part as well.
I imagine since they're not on the hill yet, that's going to be a while till they're at the point. We have to just keep an eye on things as well, just in case we're walking into something as well.
Okay, cool. Well, I'll climb onto Frapp's back as well.
Sure. Okay.
Have we got bombs? Could we make bombs? Because I could drop bombs.
You don't have any bombs with you, no.
I could.
You might be able to
drop
fashion some
roly-
bombs. It'd take a while.
Yeah, we could fashion a big rolly thing. I could drop that, and it would sort of roll down them, being on fire as well. Be cool.
Mhm.
Dropping bombs on the soldiers.
Right.
I feel
So,
like you want to save damage for later.
so Raffin has turned into a large bird. Do you have a preference of bird, Raffin? Have you got one picked out?
Can I change into one of those big pterodactyl things?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So Raffin turns into kind of kind of the giant equivalent of one of the scale eagle, it's kind of pterodactyl looking motherfucker. And Rurak and Muir are climbing on. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. And then where are you guys going? Are you going down to where they are?
I think it's best to just kind of hang up near the top and keep an eye on things, and then
Okay.
Should probably
so
do a quick check the other way to make sure there's nobody on further up the mountain we're gonna run into.
okay, sure, yeah. So you're kind of scouting off ahead, is that right?
And then come back, see where the other army is, maybe kind of help.
Sure. Okay. So you guys take off to go and do that. And Narinn and everyone else on the ground, what is your plan? Are you just continuing on?
Yeah, just gotta keep on marching forward.
Okay, cool. So yeah, it only takes you a couple minutes to kind of clear through the fog cloud. But hopefully it will kind of confuse them enough. They might not be able to track you. Narinn, you can kind of see. I assume you're kind of keeping an eye on them after you spot them. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of see that they've started to veer off the road. It looks like they definitely have noticed you and are moving to engage.
How far away does it look like they are? Like hours?
Oh, there are a few hours above you,
Minutes?
yeah. It'll be a bit of time. But they're kind of slowly kind of winding around the mountainside, kind of towards where you are. Or kind of around the foot of the mountain towards where they can start to kind of follow after you. So it looks like they are on the trail. But you guys are just continuing onwards. So Raffin and Muir and Mirek, you're kind of going east to go and check the route you're taking. Is that right? To see if there's any other
I
armies?
believe so.
Okay, give us a perception check, Oleg is.
Can you roll for me, Jake?
Yeah. Muir. Perception. Normal.
I get 19.
Okay, Muir also got a 19. What'd you get, Mirek?
Let's get the perception. 1 sec. I'll try normal this time. We'll see if there's auto.
No.
All right. Well, I'll just roll again. If that's right. Perception. Hey, here we go.
Okay. So, so you don't see any other armies. You can kind of. It doesn't take you. You don't have to fly for all that long, like an hour or so, to get to a point where you can kind of see the route down and the forest on the other side. You can't see any other armies here. You can see there is a hamlet on the mountain that you're going to have to go through, which may or may not be of a concern. But you can see there is a small pocket of civilization, kind of like that Strith place that you went through the first time when you were cutting across to Balin Way. It doesn't have a very small, very big village. It's pretty small, but you are going to have to. Your route is going to take you through it, so you may have to. You may wish to do something about that, but otherwise, no, you can't see any other armies on the other side. So, what is your plan then?
They look like they're moving in, do they?
You can. They veered off the road towards the mountain. It's kind of difficult to make a huge amount from this kind of distance that you're at now. But you can definitely see they are not on the route that they were or that you were expecting them to be. They're now coming. They look like they're coming in to pursue. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, if they're moving, I can just use the orb and we can just start attacking. Just make it really difficult for them.
On the mountain yet?
No. There's no coming around. Sorry, what?
So I was asking Muir, do you want to wait till they're on the mountain, so it's harder for them to leave?
Probably. Just for the purposes of like my tidal wave thing,
Yeah.
And tidal wave down a hill is probably gonna at least kill a few of them.
All right, we'll give them some time then. We'll let them lead up a little bit, and then we'll open fire, I guess.
Sure. Okay. So you guys are waiting. Narinn and his troops are moving, and then as they kind of come around, so like an hour or two go by because they move fairly slowly. They're at this kind of level, and they kind of this other army kind of approaches to close to where the foothill is, or like where the kind of route you guys started up is. Narinn and the rest of the army are about 2/3 of the way up the mountain. Are you guys just kind of like floating around, like kind of at the top, or like orbiting them, or?
Yeah, just up top, floating
Sure.
around. I think.
Barrow range.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So there's a thing that happens that you've probably never seen happen before, and that like the army sort of like rolls up, and then they seem to stop moving for like a moment or two, and then there is this like arc of green lightning erupts from their army and like goes up to the mountainside and then impacts on the side of the mountain, and kind of ahead of where Narinn and the rest of the Legion are. And you hear these rumblings as if like there's this this massive like it's obviously magical, but it's like magic on a scale you've never seen before. Happens, and then it strikes into the mountainside, and you can then start to hear this rumbling that is like the start of a landslide. Looks to be happening kind of directly in front of where Narinn and his troops are. So what are y'all doing in response to that?
Does anyone know how to earthbend?
I can earthbend
Anyone
5
got
feet,
any?
and I'm up on an eagle.
Let me change the tunes. This is not. This is high
Is
travel.
there any like ledges that we've passed close by, or any I can see, like kind of slopes we could hide under?
Give us a survival check.
$20.
20. Yeah, there is a kind of there's a not that far from where you guys are. You have to go back, which is going to take a bit. It's going to take a bit to kind of move the whole army backwards, like kick it all into reverse. If you kind of go back down, like it's only like a couple of 100 meters. There's like a kind of turn off that you can go right, that will kind of hopefully kind of avoid most of the landslide. That you can kind of like it kind of takes a minute for stuff to pick up. But you can definitely hear there is the beginnings of a landslide happening up there. So it's probably going to be a skill challenge.
Okay.
And also the other thing that happens is that kind of certainly Muir and Rick and everyone in the sky can certainly see this happen. Everyone in the army is kind of like, you probably don't know where it comes from, any of you, but like someone in your army responds. And there is like this kind of like flash of blue light, and there's this kind of like ball of energy gets hurled through the air and kind of like arcs down towards their army, and like detonates over them. You don't really see what happens, but like there is like big magic comes from them to the mountainside, and then someone in your army does some big magic back, and let you know it's not you.
Was it Suvos?
You have no idea. You can.
Ah.
So it's going to be a skill challenge. So it's going to be DC.
I am at a
16.
bit of a crossroads because after Jake was DMing, says, "Does anyone else want to do anything for tonight?" And I didn't say anything. And then just as he was like saying, "Okay, everyone, do your perception checks," I sent him a message being like, "I don't know if Lyta's still at camp or not. She might have left." And I didn't know
Sorry, I
when
missed
to bring it up.
Okay, well, let's deal with that just now then, shall we?
Wait, what?
So she might be. This is kind of the problem, is that I was thinking about it. I was like pretty sure, like I was like, yeah, Lyta's probably gonna leave, and now I'm like, oh, I don't know if she should be gone right now. But that's kind of metagamey, and now I'm at a crossroads because it's a difficult thing, and I wasn't quite sure.
Okay, well, we've got two options, right? We can either try and resolve this right now, all of it. Someone go. Did we lose someone? Okay, you're back.
It's kind of why I've been keeping quiet this entire time. I haven't rolled for anything.
So me thinking about it. So I did. Apparently OBS mutes all the Discord sounds when it's up, so I didn't hear it come in. Otherwise, I would have seen it. So I think what we'll do, given that Zorgar's not here, and Zorgar coming back will probably be a moment, and we're not sure what's happening with Lyta. we're probably gonna. It's 20 to 10, so we'll probably stop here, and we'll pick up next session. We'll pick up we'll do like kind of like a flashback retrospective because Zorgar would probably have arrived back before you got on the mountain, so we'll do some stuff with Zorgar getting back, and we'll see what happens with Lida, and then we'll pick up in the skill challenge to evade this landslide from this other army. I think that seems like the best plan. I don't know if you guys have any ulterior thoughts.
Sounds
Let's
pretty
do
good to
that.
me.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you
I
are.
really wasn't expecting an army to suddenly be on everyone's tail.
Yeah.
Sure.
I was
Okay.
expecting for us to encounter them. I was not expecting the green lightning.
Parts unknown.
Sure. Okay. So we'll stop there. We'll pick up next session. So if you watch the stream, sure for watching, we'll be back. Won't be back next week. It'll be 2 weeks today. So see you then.